God, life is so fantastical. Oh, wow. Not only is my heart exploding in all directions, the collective heart is exploding in all directions. Well, it's currently going through a throat activation of vulnerability, speaking the truth, and being authentic in expression. And with that, there are some huge shifts energetically, collectively. We really are moving through some really rapid, massive expansion. I do not know if there's been solar flares, but gosh, there must have been solar flares today. So I believe they show up on the scale tomorrow, and that there would have been some form of solar storm that happened. So if anyone's got the deets, send it to me so I can prove my intuitive guidance. So we are moving through some big things in man and woman of the bringers of change, the collective of the spiritual communities, or those that are here for the ascension of the human race, whatever label you would like to put on it, because the truth is that it actually doesn't affect those that are not choosing or the human race. So the frequencies are not received. When you have a bandwidth, you can only receive from the bandwidth that is provided. If you have frequencies that are above your bandwidth of consciousness, you will not receive this frequency. You will not receive this information. So you could have as many solar storms as possible and someone can still stay in their limited mindset. Or their capacity with consciousness. So this does affect those that are more galactic. They are more cosmic beings. They are beings that are here and they vibrate at a frequency that is different from the majority. So what does that mean? It means that currently women are fully stepping out of the patriarchal structures. We've been going through this for a while, but there is huge transition shifts of being controlled by men and allowing themselves to give themselves up for men, however that looks. It might be that you self-abandon for love with a man. It might be that you've allowed yourself to be in toxic connections with a man. It might be that your level of service has allowed you to actually step away from your own service to your own purpose. It may be past incarnations where your gifts, abilities, and talents have been used for man and for an agenda that was not your sacred truth. It may be the stepping away from the violations, the rape, and the different layers of control structures over women from men. And that these intense amounts of shifting out is actually rising the feminine. It's rising the purity. It's rising the opening of the heart space, which is having a very, very beautiful ripple effect on the masculine. Now, this is where we say we are not doing it one before the other. Although the women are leading currently in consciousness from the standpoint of being a female and a male, not a feminine or a masculine, but from the vessels type, because of the conditioning and the way that society has created us to be. And so the women are actually rising, and when they rise and they step away from the constructs of false realities, that opens a space for the men to also rise. And what happens is, because there is already pathways created, this transformation for the men to surrender into this level of spirit and authenticity and to be strong in their pillar actually happens quicker and rapidly. It's like when you are the first for something, that's hard, right? Because you're leading the way, you're paving the way. It's actually really hard to be one of the first. It's quite challenging, and it's not necessarily the way you want to go. But we've all chosen our roles. Now, if this path is paved, then it becomes an easier energetic walkway for others to walk behind, which means what took a longer time in building those structures, those frameworks, can then be accessed, used, and integrated a lot faster. And our men are going through this process of actually reclaiming themselves, but they're also really seeing through the mirror of woman themselves, so that they can reclaim who they are. So the women are playing a massive role to the men in who am I actually as a man and how do I want to be in this world, which is stepping away from the constructs of the world that has told me I am this man, and that I am to provide and protect in this way, and that I am to show up financially in this way, and that I am to be a pillar of light in this way, that our relationship dynamic looks like this, that I'm to give myself up in the name of being a man and a pillar of strength in these ways. And so all of these paradigms and structures of false masculinity and the constructs that have been created to keep a man from his fullness and actually provide in the way that is true for him and be that safe space is starting to fall, collapse, and crumble. Now, for the men, this can be pretty rapid and also quite devastating to a mind that wants to hold them, because that's what's known, that's what's safe. So if you are recognizing this theme, just staying with it for the woman, stay focused on your own mission, stay focused on your own light, the love that you've given to him, the abilities, the caring, the nurture, the creation, all of those things that you have abandoned over and over and over in the name of service to love or to man, is to be reclaimed and actually brought straight back on yourself. This is like the ultimate time of self-love for women, is actually I'm going to give all of this to me. Every time that I have given my ideas, my creation, templates, the parts of me that wants to do X, Y, and Z, I'm going to do that myself, and I'm going to do it for me, only for me. If you want to love a man, love the man for you, not for him. Not because you want anything back, but because you want to be in love and experience that for yourself. If you are a man, then this is actually the point of time that you start to go, I have required women to validate who I am and why I'm here. And that women have been the reason that I've validated my worth, and I no longer choose to allow myself to be validated by women, but instead see the value that they have held, and I'm going to step up and away from this need to be seen, nourished, touched, and convinced, manipulated, seduced, and covertly bought into something that is not my truth. And I'm going to find the truth of who I am as a man, and in my vulnerability, I'm going to be transparent, in integrity, and speak what I really feel to any woman in my life. So I am expressing from solidness of who I am. What does this create? This creates a sense of safety and trust on both sides, because the woman is no longer putting this energy into him. She's doing it because she wants to for herself. And the man is no longer giving up his beliefs, his passions, his ideas in the name of seeing himself in the validation of a woman, or hiding all these aspects of himself that he feels that she will shame, judge, and make him wrong for, which creates safety for both man and woman to be themselves, ultimately creating connection and the rise no matter where each individual is on their consciousness scale.